Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's December 17th, 2016. The subject today is murder by numbers. We're going to go back in time and look at the death of Princess Diana, August 31st, 1997. Next year will be the 20-year anniversary of her death, and I think this video that you're about to watch might be the most revealing piece of information in the world as we know it about what truly transpired in the tunnel where her and two others reportedly lost their lives in a fatal car accident. By the end of this video, you'll know what her death has to do with the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, still the reigning queen. You might recall earlier this year, Queen Elizabeth's birthday, the big news that day was the death of Prince, a title that reminds us of the royal family. If you missed my work earlier this year on Prince, I recommend you search Zachary K. Hubbard Prince. I made about 15 videos on his death, and I even made a video in February of 2016 warning Prince that we could be reading about his death in the very near future. I made that video after his former girlfriend Vanity passed just before the 58th Grammys, February 15th, 2016. So anyhow, let's get into the death of Princess Diana. Her death was murder by numbers, no doubt, and very much connected to the Queen. If you weren't aware, Princess Diana was next in line for the throne behind the Queen. With the death of Princess Diana, next in line became, who was her husband, Prince Charles. So we'll talk about all of that, plus more. Notice Lady Di was born July 1st, 1961. Remember the date 7-1 for July 1st in the year 61. She died August 31st, 1997. We'll talk more about the specifics of these dates. She was buried September 6th in Althorpe. We'll get to that at the end. If you're new to my channel, we talk about the language of Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. This is an ancient language. Ancient languages of the past, from Hebrew to Greek, were based on Gematria. The English language is no doubt based on this same numbering system. The English alphabet is a lettering and numbering system. The numbering part is a secret to most people who speak it. And one of the big aims of my work is to spread this knowledge so people are aware of this, because this language of Gematria is used every day by world elites, government, media, banking. By being aware of this language can provide you many insights into many topics, from rigged sports games to murder by numbers. If you never heard the song Murder by Numbers, recorded in 1983 by the band The Police, I will link that song in the description. It talks about how murder by numbers is as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what Gematria is, using the alphabetic sequence to count. So right here, Princess Di died August 31st, 1997. And think about that, how they used to call her Princess Di. Princess Di died prematurely. Anyhow, from her date of death to the Queen's birthday that year, which is April 21st, was 132 days. 132 days. Princess Diana in Gematria sums to 132. So 132 days after the Queen's birthday, Princess Diana dies, who was next in line for the throne behind the Queen. I just want to point out also that their formal titles, Diana, Princess of Wales, and Queen Elizabeth II, both have this Gematria of 87. Margaret Thatcher died by the numbers at age 87. First female PM, Prime Minister in the United Kingdom. I also want to point out that the name Diana in Gematria sums to 20 and 29. The word death has Gematria of 20 and 38. She had a fitting name for death. The day she died on was a date with 38 numerology, which we'll get to. The year Princess Diana died, 1997, the Queen had turned 71 years old that year. Princess Diana's birthday was July 1st, 7/1. The Queen was 71. The word royal in Gematria sums to 71. How fitting. A royal death synced up with the head of the royal family when she was 71. With regards to Queen Elizabeth, something you should know, she became queen February 6th, 1952. That's a date that can be written 2/6 or 6/2. Her coronation was June 2nd, 1953. Notice June 2nd can be written 2/6 or 6/2. The word queen, using the alphabetic order, sums to 62. Q's the 17th letter, U's the 21st, E's the 5th, E's the 5th, N's the 14th, add it together, 62. Using the reduction method, Q's the 17th letter, but what you do is add each letter to make a single digit, then add the word. So 17 in numerology is 1 plus 7 is 8. Q is 8. U is the 21st letter. 21 is 2 plus 1 equals 3, so Q is 8, U is 3, E is 5 because it's the 5th letter, N's 14th letter, 1 plus 4 becomes 5. So it becomes 8 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. That adds up to 26. That's the way these systems work. From the day that Princess Di had her 36th birthday to the day she died was a span of 62 days. Second in line. She could have been the next queen. How fitting, right? Plus her birthday was perfectly synced with the queen. So that's just the start. There's so much more. Lady Di, her birthday was July 1st, 1961. That's a date with 88 numerology. The word purple equals 88. Think about purple, the color of royalty. It was also corresponding with the name Elizabeth. The sitting queen is Elizabeth. Elizabeth equals 88. You might recall that this past year's GOP convention in Cleveland, Donald Trump came out to the song Queen, We Are the Champions. The name Trump equals 88, and that tribute was exactly 88 days after the Queen's birthday. Donald Trump came out to Queen, We Are the Champions, 88 days after the Queen's birthday. Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth 88. And of course, her birthday, July 1st, 7/1, a lot like 71, Royal 71. From her birthday, Princess Diana, to her death, it was a span of 62 days. You could also say it was 61 days after her birthday. And notice, the name Elizabeth II is 61, the Queen's name. The word news has Gematria of 61, and this became the big news story of the year, a news story that's still ingrained in so many people's minds. 61 is the God number in Jewish Gematria. The people who control the news play God over people's lives by filling their heads with false information, false narratives, false stories often. It's entirely possible that this story as we know it is false too. It's very possible that Princess Diana didn't die, nor did the other two people in the car that day. They very well might have been killed, or the whole story might be a farce. You know, the rumor is that she was having an affair with another man, which we'll get to. Perhaps this is how they escaped their celebrity and went off to live the life they preferred. Talk more about that in a moment. The date of the accident, it was a date with 38 numerology. The word death is 38, the word killing 38. We've seen so many celebrities in history die by this number 38. And again, as we talked about, Diana has a connection to death as well. They died in Paris, France. We'll talk about the coordinates they died at. Paris, France in Gematria sums to 65. They died in Paris, France on a date with 65 numerology. It's also a date with a 39 connection. Charles was her husband. There are rumors that she was murdered because of her affair. There's rumors that she faked her death because of her affair. One of these two outcomes is likely the truth. What we're seeing here is how it was definitively done by the numbers, why it happened the date it did. Princess Diana, her maiden name was Spencer. I just want to point out that Spencer has gematria of 35, like car crash, like the word rain. You know, she died with the reigning queen, or synced up with the reigning queen, Queen Elizabeth. The name Spencer and the word car crash, with the S exception, both sum to 44, like the word kill. The tunnel that she reportedly died in Paris, France, it has very fitting gematria. Look at this. The name of the tunnel sums to 113. This is a number used again and again by the Scottish Rite Freemasons in encoding their propaganda and their deceptive stories. And again, the story is that she died in a fatal car accident. It was blamed on the driver being drunk and under the influence of, I forget what they said, prescription drugs, something like that. And they also say he was driving erratically because of the paparazzi. This whole story is fiction. The reason they did it in the tunnel is because it's easy to keep eyes off the scene. Think about it. But anyhow, this tunnel in gematria sums to 113, just like the word mainstream, like dishonest, like perverted. Bava Kama 113a says it's okay for somebody who's Jewish to lie to somebody who isn't. It's who controls your media. It's who controls the UK. That's who controls the United States. It's always been Jewish banker tyrants, for as long as recorded history goes back. Gematria, mostly a Jewish practice. Her husband at the time, Charles, Prince of Wales, in gematria, his name also sums to 113. 113. She dies in the tunnel, supposedly with the man she's having an affair with. And as a reminder, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, the branch of Freemasonry that runs the New World Order, they came to power in France. Scottish 113. When you add the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, which are 31, 32, 33, they sum to 96. The word Freemason equals 96. Lady Diana buried on September 6th, 9/6, or 6/9, Queen Elizabeth, 69. 69, the number at the top of the Masonic arch. So the name of this tunnel in gematria, where you reduce each letter, it sums to 41. And 41 is the 13th prime number. And it is reported often that they crashed into the 13th pillar of the tunnel. Here in the United States, on the dollar bill, 41 encoded right into it in gematria. On the pyramid, there are 13 layers of bricks. Some 41 words: king, hill, USA, 41, the 13th prime, 13 stripes on the US flag, 13 colonies, a nation infatuated with the royal family. It's because neither of these nations are even sovereign. They're both just part of this Masonic, Jewish, banker, warmonger empire that continues to grow throughout history. An empire that has always operated by the numbers, as you're seeing here. From murdering people to establishing nations to creating laws, war, and more. Isn't it just amazing? They said the driver who they blamed, they said he was drunk. The driver was reportedly 41 years old as well, crashing in this tunnel with 41 gematria, the 13th prime number. The coordinates of the tunnel are also interesting, it being on the 48th parallel north. Charles was 48 years old at the time, Prince Charles, born in 1948. Here's some words with 48 gematria: evil, hoax, propaganda, Illuminati, Hollywood. A world infatuated with mainstream media, celebrity, death, tabloid news. Blaming it on paparazzi is interesting because the word paparazzi has gematria 51, like conspiracy. And if anyone ever tells you wear a tinfoil hat, be sure to let them know that in Gematria, tinfoil hat equals 51, just like conspiracy. Also, paparazzi sums to 114, so does Diana, Princess of Wales, with the S exceptions. Her death blamed on paparazzi. A lot of people call conspiracy, and they're right too, because no doubt this is conspiracy. This is exactly what conspiracy is. Her supposed boyfriend is this man, Dodi Fayed. He was born April 15th, tax day here in the United States, 105th day of the year, important number to Zionism and Masonry. Notice he was born in the year 55. Show you what's so interesting about his reported death. His name that he went by, see, he has this longer name, but he's known in the media as Dodi Fayed. The name he's known by has gematria of 73 and 46. The word sacrifice equals 46, 55, and 73. Again, he was born in 55. His reported death on August 31st, a date that can be written 8/31. His death came 138 days after his birthday. 138, the reflection of 831. He was reportedly 42 years old at the time. Freemason equals 42, special number to the gang. If you count from his birthday to his date of death the full span of days, it's 139 days. Freemasonry, 139. Again, 42, number of the Freemasons. This is their symbol, the compass and square, instruments of measurement because they're builders. Just want to point out that the big G represents 42, so does the word Freemason, so does the word birthday. His death perfectly synced with his own birthday. If I had to guess what I think really happened here, I think it's more likely that these people aren't really killed and that they really do get to go on and just live an alternate life. Out of the mainstream, maybe under another identity. The world's a big place. You know? You don't know most people in this world because they're not on the TV. You just tell the world Princess Diana's dead and you never show her again on television. How's anyone know the difference? This might have been this guy's birthday wish. Maybe they really were madly in love, this couple. So, his birthday, April 15th, 1955. This is a date with 93 numerology. That's the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. With regards to him dying 138 days after his birthday on August 31st, when you add these numbers together, which are reflections of each other, it sums to 969. The orbital speed of Saturn, the keeper of time, is 9.69 kilometers a second. We often see these numbers used in Saturn tributes, just as they have been for Donald Trump, who is the 45th president of the United States to be. 45 is related to Saturn because Saturn has something called the magic square of Saturn. The sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. The name Donald Trump equals 138. See the videos I've done on Donald Trump. You know, those are half-hour explanations themselves, but these same numbers, they get used again and again. So anyhow, he dies with these connections to Saturn, the keeper of time, perfectly synced with his birthday. His birth numerology just has so many standout things about it. The 74 as well, popular number to the Freemasons, Masonic 74, Jewish 74, Occult 74, Killing 74. The other man who reportedly died, so the three people to die were Princess Diana, her boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, and supposedly the 41-year-old driver, Henri Paul. So again, 41, the 13th prime, dead in the tunnel with the 41 numerology by crashing into the 13th pillar. His name, Henri Paul, has Gematria 50 and 104, which reminds me very much of America. America equals 50, 50 states. Date of establishment, July 4th, 1776, a date with 104 numerology. Of course, that number is relevant to the United Kingdom too, that date, July 4th. This story, it probably had more viewers in the United States of America than anywhere else. Keep that in mind. They said that they were driving a Mercedes S280. I just look at the gematria of that. It also has the 46 sacrifice connection. And look at his date of birth, 3/7 or 7/3. Date of birth corresponds with the type of car. We talked about how 73 equals sacrifice, coded into the boyfriend's name. The name of the car also has gematria of 91. When you sum the numbers 1 through 13, they total 91. Again, this car crashed into the 13th pillar. From his birthday to the date of the wreck was 59 days. The word kill in Jewish gematria equals 59. The only survivor was reportedly Princess Diana's bodyguard. Remember, this wreck happened in 1997. The word bodyguard in gematria sums to 97, fitting that only the bodyguard survives. The bodyguard was 29 years old at the time of the incident. Diana equals 29, so does France. Look at his birthday, March 3rd, 3/3. That's the 62nd day of the year. Queen 62, Mason 62, Torah 62. We talked about how the death came a span of 62 days from Diana's birthday. Notice also he was born in the year 1968, that special year synced up with so many things. Here in the United States of America, 1968 is the year that 911 became the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began in New York. That was 33 years before September 11th, 2001. False flag equals 33. Here they got a guy born on March 3rd in 68. If you've never seen the film Minions came out last year, has a lot to do with the Queen, the royal family. It begins in 1968 in New York, that film. Minions in gematria sums to 93. 93. The name of the bodyguard who survived, Trevor Rees-Jones, gematria of 73 and 91. We just talked about how those numbers connect to the car. Interesting how all three of the men in the car are connected to this number 73. You know, it's coded into his name, it's coded into the driver's birthday, and it's coded into the boyfriend's name. United has gematria of 73. United Kingdom, United States. And again, the word sacrifice. His date of birth, March 3rd, 1968, also a date with 93 numerology. Again, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Check out that movie Minions. They're giving us clues in the movie. The two most evil people in the world in that movie are Jewish. The people who run the media, who run the film studios, you know, they put the truth in front of everybody's face and expect no one to grasp it. Of course, his date of birth, also a date with 74 numerology. Since my first video, I've explained how they love to code 33 and 74 together in their propaganda. The World Trade Centers, destroyed 33 years after their construction, came down on the 74th meridian. Jesus equals 74, cross 74, Messiah 74, gospel 74. Jesus at 33 on the cross. Think about it. The word cross also has gematria of 20 and 38, like death, numbers coded on Diana. From the bodyguard's birthday to the incident was 181 days. The 42nd prime number, 42, number of the Freemasons. Again, Princess Di's boyfriend, 42 years old. She was 36. When I was just doing this research, I accidentally pulled up this story, but I thought it was interesting that she used to call her children Wombat and Ginger. Wombat has Gematria of 20 and 74. Again, Diana's 20. Masonic 74. Ginger has the connection to 42. As for her husband at the time, Prince Charles, he was 48, born in 48. The wreck was on the 48th parallel, as we talked about. This incident came 75 days before his upcoming birthday. '75 is an interesting number because New World Order equals 75, so does order out of chaos. It's rumored that had she not died, it would have been very ugly for the royal family at coming out that she was having this affair with this other man. All the narratives were fed. Again, her burial date was September 6th, a date that can be written 6/9 or 9/6. Connects to the Queen, connects to the word Freemason. Where she was buried in Althorpe, that's on the 52nd parallel, the first meridian. Remember, the Queen became the Queen in the year 52. The word government, 52. The word prophecy, 52. The burial place also has Gematria of 36. She was 36 years old. Remember, when you sum every number 1 through 36, it totals 666, number of the beast. Althorpe also has Gematria of 90. When you write out 90 as a word, it sums to 33. This year, the Queen turned 90 on April 21st. We saw Prince die at age 57. Prince, royal family, 33 years younger than the Queen. They lit up Niagara Falls purple that day. Vanity, Prince's girlfriend, was from Niagara Falls. Prince's death was perfectly synced with Vanity's death. I won't be surprised if we see the Queen pass at age 90 this year. Might even have been a tribute all this time to Althorpe. And I'm sure her death will be perfectly synced with her approaching 91st birthday if that happens. When you sum 1 through 13, it totals 91. The Queen is to turn 91 on April 21st. 4/21. Prince, in 1983, 33 years before his death, recorded the song I Would Die For You, and he spelled 4 with the number 4 and U with just the letter U. U is the 21st letter. For You is 4/21. Prince told you when he would die 33 years before he did. And that's another important thing to think about in light of this murder by numbers. You know, are these people really dying, or are they escaping their celebrity and going off to live out of the spotlight? You know, celebrity, you could see why it would be uncomfortable. Some people just want to be left alone. So here's another closing thought. I started this research on Princess Diana the other day because I was looking back again at the number 318. The day Princess Diana died, August 31st, in the UK is written day before the month, 31/8. This number 318 is kind of like the inverse of pi. If you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi, like you learned about in geometry class. If you divide 7 by 22, you get 0.318, which is also related to circles. Here's some things I noticed. Very interesting. The word wheel sums to 318, and we're talking about circles, cycles, life and death, the death of Princess Diana for right now. This number 318 comes from the Bible, and as it happens, it is very much connected to Christ. The number 318 represents for the Gnostics the value of the word Christ. What's so fascinating about that is March 18th is the 77th day of the year. March 18th, 318 as we write it in the United States, 3/18. That's the 77th day of the year, and the word Christ equals 77 using the alphabetic order. In the New Testament, the return of Christ is mentioned 318 times. 318. Again, Gematria, an ancient practice. The original languages that the Bible was written in were languages based in Gematria. The Bible is full of numbers. These numbers, they have significance in mathematics in this world we live in. There's more to understand about everything I have shared in this video. And the more we work at this research, the more we share the knowledge, the more we're going to uncover. But there's no doubt that things are being orchestrated by the numbers in this world, whether it's murdering people by the numbers or having them fake their deaths by the numbers. And that is what's most important to take away. Dan Barrett had some good observations on this. If you're not subbed to Dan Barrett, search that name on YouTube. DAN space BEHRENDT. This guy has a lot of brilliant videos on the royal family by the numbers. So I'll link both of these posts in the description. Also, just as a reminder, if you want to get on allfortruth.com, if you're not there yet, this is the new social media website for truth seekers. It just launched December 15th. Free to sign up. It has all the functionality of Facebook and more, except for no one is spying on you, no one's collecting your data, your information. This is just a secure place to share information with fellow truth seekers. The forums, they're already taking off. People are having conversations about all sorts of topics. This is a place to treat others with respect, share information, share ideas, engage in friendly debate. We are looking to create an alliance of truth seekers, work together, organize, and expose the madness in this world. If you come to the forums, I even put up a discussion thread already on the death of Princess Diana, and I'll be sure to link this video in that discussion. There's more to the topic. There's people like David Icke in the world talking about how the royal family is a reptilian race. Honestly, I don't know about any of that. And I choose to stay away from research such as that, talking about reptilians. And I recommend a lot of you do as well, and here's why. You live in a world where the average person is completely asleep. And they can't even see the simplest of things. We were talking about 9/11. I was 18 years old when 9/11 happened. It never fooled me for a second. I watched the news that night. I listened to the people on the TV report that they could not find the plane, but they'd recovered paper passports, box cutter knives, and cloth turbans that the terrorists wore. And I thought, who are they kidding? I thought everyone was going to see through the lies. But here we are, over 15 years later, and most people still don't understand what was wrong with that reporting or the lies of that day. If people can't see things that are just that surface level, that obvious, you can't go out and start telling them things like, the people in charge are half lizard, they're reptiles. Even if it is true, and I'm not saying it's not true, because I don't know. I've never seen any reptilians in my life. I've never seen any shapeshifters. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, I'm just saying. When you start saying those types of things to people, they're definitely going to tune out, because they'll already tune out surface level truth. Meanwhile, you show them something like this, they might think it's crazy at first, but you show them enough concrete patterns. You start doing things like what I'm doing, showing how Prince better watch his ass in February and then he dies by the numbers a few months later. That's how you can wake up people, And David Icke, if you're out there, I wish you'd start preaching Gematria instead of the reptilian lizard shapeshifters. Because we all know that's not going to wake up the masses. And again, True Seeker, I'm making these points because there is always more, but you have to figure out what's the most logical way to explain things, and you always want to come with the strongest, most convincing evidence. I mean, this right here. Princess Diana dead 132 days after the Queen's 71st birthday, And this just being one of a million examples like this with this royal family. I think you know what I'm saying. Thanks as always for listening, Truth Seeker. Be sure to sign up for All for Truth. I'll link it in the description. We also need to continue to fund the campaign so we can keep the resources for the website. You know, this is going to be an expensive website to run, and I'm already, based on how many people have joined and are uploading, I already want to upgrade the server and beef it up a little bit more. You know, make it that much smoother, that much quicker. Just so you know, when you load up the website, a lot of times it takes a few seconds to load up, but once you get in here, things should be pretty quick. So it's running smooth. Please sign up if you haven't already. This is a lot safer space to share information than Facebook. That is one of the primary features of this: safety, security, a good community. Please sign up. Please share the truth. Until next time, Truth Seeker.